The days blur together faster and faster as each month goes by. There's no more interest in going outside, or doing much else for that matter. Fading away from friends, from family, from a girlfriend. It's not even real. Now enough about my depression. Let's talk about Valve Index. Hey yo, so I could have sworn when you do a product review or something like that, you're actually supposed to use the product for a little bit, but I don't get why when it first came out I was seeing, and this isn't towards people who actually got them sent early for the specific process of reviewing. Like, you're fine, that makes sense. But people who definitely just got theirs on the 28th, and literally like 3 days later, you know, like a first review or a completely honest review. I don't know how honest you can be with only using the thing for three days. So I've had it for a month now. Valve Index, had it for a month. Been using it quite a bit, and I got some thoughts. Let's go through some thoughts. The Valve Index is the next successor of consumer generation virtual reality. There's a minimum entry point of $4.99 USD. That's just the headset, the Index headset. You don't get the controllers or the base stations, the tracking box things, whatever you want to call them. You need a previous setup, say the Vive base stations and Vive wands, to use this. You can get the actual experience, in my opinion, though, which would be the headset and the controllers, because the Valve Index controllers were forever in my heart. The Knuckles, that's the actual experience. That's where the meat's at. So, finger tracking was one of the big selling points. You get it for $700. You get the headset and that, provided you already have the base stations from the Vive. For the full setup, though, that's a quick, smooth grand. It's gonna hurt. It did. This is the headset, the controllers, the base stations, you know, the full kit. While this has the base stations and whatnot, in my own opinion, I think the main thing to go for is the headset and the controllers, provided you have the previous base stations. While the 2.0s are definitely better, they're a better improvement over the 1.0s. If you got the previous ones, just go for the headset and the controllers. With new hardware, I like to think on my initial reactions, kind of like the first thought I have when I put this new headset on for the first time, like the novelty of it, the wow moments, see what isn't quite just a novelty, something, see what sticks, see what fades away in memory as time goes on. So here I'll go over the headset, the controllers, some of the software aspects of like Steam VR and whatnot. Just do it kind of rather quickly. Most of these opinions and comparisons and contrasts and whatnot, they will be in direct comparison and contrast to the original Vive. Firstly, the headset's smaller than the Vive. It's weighted properly too. Scoliosis, goodbye! And the foam! Oh my god, the foam! The foam! Why is my skin not made of it? The optics have dual stacked lens design, and the FOV in general is just, it's a large enough increase for me to go, every time I put it on, puts a smile on my face. It's a big increase compared to the Vive. It's not quite full human, you know, oculars yet, but it's pretty good. With this, there's significantly less barrel distortion. The God rays have been lessened. It's not just, you know, bright-ass surgeon lights shining into your eyes. Let me talk about the screen door effect, okay? The screen door effect? Jesus Christ. With the new RGB LCD screens, not only with a nice jump in resolution, and also 144 Hz, baby, woo! The matrix of pixels that are in these screens are tightly packed and staggered that would allow a 50% increase in pixel density across from the Vive. So not only the actual resolution increase, the density of the clustering of pixels is much larger as well. So it's like a double resolution increase almost. So it's gone, the screen door effect, I mean, for the most part. Like, say like 99% gone. There was one or two times, I don't know if it's just my pessimistic brain or something like that, like trying to find something wrong with it because it hates me, but like I could have sworn one or two times I saw this strange staggered dot grid like pattern, but I don't know, I really haven't been able to see it. It's very rare, and I think it was all in the same game, so I don't know, maybe it's just me, blah blah. All intents and purposes, it's gone. This is the first headset really to just like take your computer monitor and plaster it on your eyes. Now the headphones, now they're off ear. It sounds like they're on ear. I don't know how to explain it. These things just sit maybe like half an inch away from your ear, but the sound sounds full. It sounds spacious. It sounds around your ear. It has bass. The original Vive Deluxe Audio Strap headphones, they had no bass. They kind of sucked. And then the microphone, Vive's was serviceable. It's not like it was horrible. It was way too quiet. Everything sounded kind of just muffed over. It was a for the par course kind of quality mic. But the Valve Index's microphone, it's a weird situation. It's too good. It picks up everything. If my mom's getting beat by my dad upstairs or something, like it's gonna come through, it's gonna capture it, police will be on their way. I actually have to lower my microphone about like half, and that's my starting high. Just you hear everything. People running around in Pavlov, whatnot, they're clearly like 400 pounds. You hear everything. Not many negatives to list here, to be honest, with the headset itself. Most of these improvements, like, still kind of stick. They're impressive. It's not just a novelty kind of thing with a lot of these improvements. Yeah, the color grading's a bit gray. It's LCD over OLED. The OLEDs were just better with colors, but and every time I look at the cord, again, because I'm coming from Vive Wireless, I want a lobotomy. Really the only actual negative I have for this product, and I had this with the Vive too, it seems like they're built and oriented towards people of smaller proportions. The IPD ranges are a lot better though. There is a wider range, so I mean, there were people before that, you know, just weren't Asian enough to get those things in. But with this and the smaller proportions it seems like it was meant for, when I first put on the headset, it felt like I had to wear it maybe like a centimeter higher than what felt comfortable to be wearing it at. And some of these problems, they fade away for the most part. I put the headset on now and I don't know if my eyes have just adjusted to it or the feeling on my face adjusted to it. Look, if you're coming into the water fresh, I don't think you're going to have much of a problem with it. It's going to seem new experience. You're not going to have really anything to pick apart with these kind of problems. Now the controllers. The controllers are great. They're just great. The fingers, they track. The hands, they strap. Oh boy, first time I loaded up Steam VR Home, you can see those hands, you see them fingies bend. Woo daddy! Something in my brain just clicks and all I know is that I'm in love. The whole interface is nice. I give it an 8 out of 10. Like it's well designed. There's two capacitive tactile buttons on the front, B and A's. You have pill-shaped trackpad in the center. You have a capacitive home system utility menu button, and also a capacitive analog stick, one that melted the subreddit in fact. You'll notice everything is capacitive. This essentially doubles the buttons and utility of each face of the controller. All of this respectively for each of your thumbs as well. There's capacitive finger tracking, which also has pressure sense in the sides, so it can tell how much you're squeezing the controller. The tracking itself on the fingers too, I mean it's a daddy yes out of 10 from me. you just have to learn kind of how to hold the controller properly. First time I put it in, it felt like I was shaking hands with a slug or something like that. It was odd. They're ever so slightly turned more than I guess what you would initially think they should be in your hands, but beautiful. Yeah, it feels awkward at first, but it's kind of akin to just, you know, riding a bike. I can't ride a... It feels natural. The battery times are a treat. It's something like 5 hours and up, whatnot. I mean, that's perfectly serviceable. It lasts quite a good time. You can play your Skyrims or Fallouts, whatnot, for a long period of time. They charge pretty quickly, too. The one thing I don't like, though, again, about these, it relates to people in small proportions, whatnot. I don't have big hands. They're normal at best. These have the hand straps. It's like a dialed notch tab kind of thing that you have to push in and go by. But even on the largest setting, again, I don't have big hands, but I feel like when I squeeze the controller too hard or something, or I'm getting into it, like I flex the band a little bit. And I know these notch tabs aren't like, it's not titanium for sure. I'm just afraid of snapping it. But I personally don't think I've ever gotten to the point where I was close enough to thinking it was a rational fear. But I do have a buddy with much meatier hands than I, and he does give me a little bit of worry when he uses it. Luckily though, the community has already, I've seen a couple of 3D printed big hand modification things. I personally don't think I need it, but I don't know, I just wish the largest notch was maybe the smallest notch, because stop trying to pander to children. Steam VR and its software in general. Why the hell do I have to unplug and replug my power to my headset to get audio every time without fail? How is this not fixed? Other than that, tracking is still god tier, and custom binding support was a smart decision for the longevity of games and older games. Everything was essentially plug and play, minus installing the base stations themselves. So keep doing what you're doing, babes.